The rains were heavy and early this year in the Con Trang province of Cambodia. Farmers began picking their cucumbers for market. In this rural area, small farmers grow cucumbers as a cash crop. As the cucumbers ripen, the farmers harvest them and sell them to a collector, who comes around on her motorbike to take the day's produce to the big open market in Siem Reap, about 45 kilometers away. The collector is also a cucumber farmer. She visits about 20 farmers every day to collect whatever is market ready. On average, a small farmer can produce 100 kilos of cucumbers per season. However, the yield may be less this year. The early rains are threatening to rot the roots of the plants. The collector pays the farmers between 700 and 1,000 reals, about $2.80 to $4 US, per kilo. She then puts the cucumbers in a cart behind her motorbike and transports them to Siem Reap at 1 o'clock in the morning. The collector sells cucumbers to a wholesaler at the market.
After the collector comes, she go to buy from the collector, and then she sell like this.
So she would go around to many different collectors and buying the best price.
Yeah.
So she's like a wholesaler.
Yeah, act as a wholesaler and act as a retailer.
So when she's acting as wholesaler, who buys from her?
Like the wholesaler inside can also buy from her.
Oh, so the wholesaler, when she's acting as wholesaler, she sells to inside. Yeah. Acting as retailer, she sells to a woman like that.
Depending on the quality of the cucumbers and the wholesaler's estimate of market demand, the wholesaler pays the collector between 1,000 and 1,300 reals, approximately $4 to $5 US per kilo. The wholesaler sits with hundreds of other women food sellers in the market. She will sell the cucumbers to a variety of customers, from households and restaurants to retailers. She also sells many other fruits and vegetables, either grown in Cambodia or imported from Vietnam. In the market, retailers buy the cucumbers from the wholesaler for 1,200 to 1,500 reals, or $4.80 to $6 US per kilo. The retailers then take the produce out to remote village markets to resell it. One of these markets sits only 2 kilometers away from the village where the cucumbers were grown. In only 1 or 2 days, the cucumber has traveled more than 90 kilometers to end up virtually back where it started. In the process, the price has doubled. At the new market price of 1,200 to 1,500 reals per kilo, the cucumber is now unaffordable for the farmers who grew it. Why does this happen? Although the farmer could earn a slightly better price per kilo by taking it to the market him or herself, most farmers cannot afford the time.
Ask him why he sells to the collector and not take it directly into the market.
So he busy with the rice field.
Oh.
In addition, the price paid to farmers is driven down by the fact that all farmers in the area grow cucumbers.
I have a question. Why grow on the cucumber and bean?
Yeah.
So she said that because the farmer know only how to grow cucumber and string bean, but in the other area the farmer know how to grow like lettuce.
Since the farmers depend on income from the cucumbers for their survival, they are reluctant to try new crops.
They afraid to grow the tomato because like they saw the other place like after growing and then cannot work. So they are afraid.
In addition, fresh cucumbers have a very short shelf life.
So if cannot sell today, she can keep for 1 day for this variety.
Only 1 day.
Yeah.
This variety, if she keep in the cold place, the sell life will be longer.
Cucumbers spoil quickly in the market, which gives merchants no choice but to throw them away. Since the cucumber has such limited earning power, the price remains low. This affects farmers, collectors, wholesalers, retailers, and consumers. Although low-priced cucumbers appear to be good news for the millions of Cambodian poor who live on less than $2 a day, the negatives far outweigh the positives. Low food prices mean that farmers are earning little money and often cannot afford to provide their families with a nutritious and balanced diet. In order to afford inputs like seeds, fertilizer, and pesticides, farmers often have to borrow money or buy what they need in small quantities at highly marked up prices. Many farmers take out seasonal loans from the town's gold merchant at an annual interest rate of 60%. As a result of the very marginal income earned by farmers, some are leaving farming to pursue better paying work. This collector shares what is happening in the village.
But the problem is her customer, her farmers, this season they change the occupation. They go to be the worker for the cassava. It's better pay than for the labor fee to grow the cassava, and then they get the paid 10,000 riyal per day for each.
This is 2.5 times what a farmer typically earns. Lack of training and knowledge means that other non-farm employment options are very limited. Those who continue to farm often hope that their children will choose another occupation.
His children become like him.
Oh, he doesn't want them to be farmers?
Yeah, because so hard work.
Uh-huh.
Whether people in rural areas farm for themselves or work as contract labor for others, current farming practices that involve the injudicious use of pesticides and fertilizers have negative impacts on food safety, the environment, and community health.
The frequency of spraying is depend on if they see the insect and they spray, and then no protection.
Is it possible to improve the lives of Cambodian cucumber farmers?
Stop, we don't have.
A team of scientists from UC Davis, in collaboration with members of the faculty of the Royal University of Agriculture, RUA, in Phnom Penh, the Hanoi University of Agriculture in Vietnam, and Nong Lam University in Vietnam, are working in a USAID-supported collaboration in an effort to change this story. The collaboration, known as HairNet, is working with local farmers, particularly women and small landholders, to study farming practices and find ways to improve agricultural methods. They are studying cropping patterns and opportunities for diversifying crops, examining ways to reduce pesticide and fertilizer use, and helping farmers respond to climate change by modifying production techniques. Currently, RUA has limited experience conducting farmer field schools to train farmers in good agricultural practices, or GAP. GAP focuses on the careful use of pesticides and herbicides to minimize impacts on farmer, consumer, and environmental health. UC Davis is working with a group of local NGOs to develop a training for RUA, similar to the Farmer Field School curriculum developed by American Extension Services. The goal is to take the training out of the classroom and into the fields, where farmers can share and draw on their hands-on experience.
What should we do?
What do we do next?
You should make training for improve the activity like that. After we found the problem, such as current technology.
UC Davis researchers are also looking at post-harvest value chains, from transport of products to food preservation. Currently, Cambodian cucumbers spoil quickly in the market. Although people eat pickles, there is not a local pickling industry. Instead, pickles are imported from Vietnam. A Cambodian pickling industry could reduce the number of cucumbers that rot and are thrown away, as well as provide jobs to the underemployed, including members of farm households. The UC Davis team is also investigating the idea of a farmer savings cooperative. Currently, it is estimated that the farmer is taking home only 40% of the total value of the cucumber. By forming joint ventures for processing, storing, and marketing cucumbers, farmer earnings could increase considerably. To do this, HairNet is working with Viettel, a Vietnamese mobile phone company, to develop cell phone-based applications for farmers. Most farmers in Con Trang have cell phones. HairNet and Viettel are exploring ways to use mobile phones to provide farmers with farming advice, weather reports, and information on market prices. The Farming Advice Line will create stronger connections between RUA and rural farmers. Not only will this give farmers a resource for crop production information, it will enable stronger oversight of safe vegetable practices. Cell phones can also be used for connecting farmers with wholesalers and producers interested in purchasing these safe vegetables. Last but not least, HairNet hopes to set up a cell phone-based electronic banking system, which would allow farmers to save safely and purchase inputs collectively. Urban areas of Cambodia are growing rapidly, and demand for safe vegetables is rising. In order to meet this demand, it is important that farmers see both farming and the production of safe vegetables as a viable way to earn a living. When the cucumber farmers in Con Trang see their food production fitting into a value chain that involves processing and marketing, and when they have a chance to own this value chain through producer cooperatives, then farmers and their families can see food production as a better alternative to a factory job and provide Cambodia with safe, healthy food for years to come.
Fish.